Hey y'all, it's Coach Jamie. I just wanted to come in real quick and talk a little bit about sleep, as this variable is so important in health optimization. Many of us do not get good sleep, or we're not going to sleep at an appropriate time. So that's what I want to talk a little bit more about, and then offer you some tools that you can incorporate this week to help optimizing this area. Number one, why is sleep so important? Sleep regulates so many things. It helps to regulate the metabolism. It helps to balance out your hormones. It shifts you into a parasympathetic nervous system state, which helps to strengthen your heart, as your heart doesn't have to work so hard when you're in that state. It also helps with brain function. So it's very, very important. If weight loss is a goal for you, as I know it is for many of you, then proper sleep is critical, because when you go to sleep, as I mentioned, your hormones are balanced. And two of the hormones that are associated with weight loss is leptin and ghrelin. So ghrelin is your hunger hormone. So this tells you when you're hungry, and then leptin is your full signal. So this tells you when you're full, that you've had enough to eat. Well, when you're sleep deprived, it is all over the place. So you end up overeating, or you may find after not sleeping well, you're kind of ravenous and you just want all types of food. That is because your hormones were not properly balanced. Also, after a day of not sleeping, you may notice that you have a lot more cravings, and that's because your blood sugar is not balanced. So you're reaching for those fast-acting carbohydrates, those simple carbohydrates that are packed with sugar, so you can get that real quick burst of energy to go throughout your day, because your energy is depleted. So if you are struggling with weight loss and you have a history of not sleeping well, this could be a root cause for you. So I would love for you to focus on that big time this week and try to incorporate some of the tools that I'm about to mention. So first off, if you are not a good sleeper, let's look at your wind down practice. Let's look at your sleep hygiene. So experts recommend a few different things. Number one, they recommend reducing your caffeine. If you're like me, I don't want to hear it. You don't have to reduce the number of drinks. I mean, yes, that would be ideal, but let's just scale it back. Let's cut it off. Ideally 12 hours before you go to sleep. Number two, cut off eating 3 hours before you go to sleep. That's going to help with blood sugar. Also, your technology work, cut that off 2 hours before you go to sleep. That way your mind is not racing and you're not thinking. And lastly, and so importantly, turn off your phones, turn off the TV, limit your screen time at least 1 hour before going to sleep. So many of us are just glued to our phones and our TV, and our mind is just wandering, and it's not really focusing, but it's just wandering. So that racing mind follows us when we try to lie down and go to sleep, and we can't get to sleep. Or if we do get to sleep, we don't have that restful, deep sleep. A couple tools that you can utilize to help with your wind down practice. If you like watching TV, because let's say that's you and your husband's time, because he works late, you work late, whatever, get some blue blockers on Amazon. That will help with the blue light exposure. You can also shift your phone to night setting, and also your computer screen as well. But ideally, you really get in the habit of just shutting those things off. That would be the gold standard. Also, try reading. That, I don't know about y'all, but picking up that book at nighttime, that puts me right to sleep. So try reading maybe 1 hour before you go to bed. That way you can really calm the mind down. Maybe a bubble bath. Again, whatever we can do to shift your mind from sympathetic to parasympathetic nervous system state will be great. Maybe you take a bubble bath, you get in bed, you get underneath your weighted blanket, and you read your book. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. If your mind is just so busy and it's just been one of those days and you're thinking about all the things that you've got to do, Try writing out your to-do list. Purge it on paper before you go to bed. That way, your mind has done something with all of those thoughts, so you don't take that with you and it doesn't keep you up at night. So try doing a purge at night. So like a journaling practice. Some people actually do journal and just spew everything out, but some people get by with just doing a to-do list for the next day. So try some of these practices. They're very practical. And if sleep is such an issue for you, and it's always been an issue for you, I know for me it is. It's been something that I've struggled with my whole life because of past trauma. I have to do all the things. I've got to do the weighted blanket. I've got to do the blue light blockers. I read my book. I even have to take melatonin sometimes. I make sure that I get up and walk the next morning, first thing in the morning, because that helps with the sleep-wake cycle. So I try to wake up with the sunrise. And then I also do a walk at nighttime when the sun is setting. That way I can really establish the sleep-wake cycle. So there's a lot of great tips for y'all. So please explore. And again, if you're struggling with your weight and this area has always been an issue for you, you can eat the best, you can work out, you can do all the things, but it's going to be really hard for you to achieve your health goals. So good luck. If you have any questions, let me know.